Hola, ¿cómo están? So, we're wrapping up our talk about Peru today. So, we started out talking about saludos y despedidas, greetings and saying goodbye. And we learned all the basics of conversation like hola and adios and hasta luego and mucho gusto and all those good things that we say all the time when we're speaking Spanish. And then we talked about la familia y los amigos. We talked about our family and our friends. So today we're talking about cómo somos. Cómo somos means what are we like? So we're going to learn how to describe ourselves in Spanish. So we need to remember that when we're describing something in Spanish, the adjective word, that describing word, needs to match the noun that it's describing. So the person, place, or thing. So if that person, place, or thing word is a girl word and it ends with an A, then our adjective also needs to end with an A. If our noun word is plural, it ends with an S, then our adjective word has to end with an S too. So we call that adjective agreement. It just means making those two words match up. So, ¿cómo somos? So here's all of our friends from Peru, and they are in a boat on a river, and they see a jaguar over there. And in this one, there's an anaconda. Can you guess what river they're floating on? This is El Río Amazonas in Peru. Did you know that the Amazon River goes through part of Peru? So here they are on the Amazon River, and it says ¿Cómo es? ¿Cómo es means what's it like? Describe it. ¿Cómo es? El Amazonas es hermoso. The Amazon River is beautiful. Muy bien. Bueno, un correo electrónico. Here's an email. Let's see if we can figure out what it says. Hola Miguel, yo me llamo Alana. Mi hermano se llama Kai. Él es alto y cómico. Nosotros vivimos en Hawái. Las playas en Hawái son hermosas. ¿Dónde vives tú? Hasta luego, Alana. So, can we figure out what she's saying here? So it says, Hi Miguel, yo me llamo Alana. My name is Alana. Mi hermano se llama Kai. My brother's name is Kai. Él es alto y cómico. Notice that those two words in yellow end with the letter O. Those are two adjective words, and we're using those words to describe Kai. And Kai is a boy, so we need to make sure that those adjective words end with the letter O. So we're saying he is tall and funny. But because he's a boy, we say alto y cómico, making sure that we end with the letter O. Nosotros vivimos en Hawaii. Do you remember what that means? We live in Hawaii. Las playas en Hawaii son hermosas. Means the beaches in Hawaii are beautiful. But let's look at this noun word beaches. In Spanish, we say playas. So that's a girl word because it ends with an A. But it's also a plural word. We have more than one beach in Hawaii, so we say playas. So we add an S to the end. And then look at our adjective word, hermosas, means beautiful. But notice that it also ends with an A, just like playa, and it also ends with an S. So we need to make our adjectives and our nouns match. So we have playas hermosas. They match up. Okay. ¿Dónde vives tú? Where do you live? Hasta luego. See you later, Alana. Let's see what Miguel writes back. Hola, Alana. ¿Cómo estás? Yo me llamo Miguel. Mis hermanos se llaman Gabriel y Alicia. Mi hermano es alto y serio. So he says, I have brothers and sisters named Gabriel and Alicia. So one's a boy, one's a girl. Mi hermano, are we talking about the brother or the sister? Talking about a brother because it ends with an O. And then notice our adjective words, alto y serio. Tall and serious. Both end with an O because it's a boy. Mi hermana es baja y cómica. Okay, now we switch to describing the sister, Alicia, and she is short and funny. But notice that her adjective words end with the letter A, baja y cómica. Nosotros vivimos en Lima. We live in Lima. La ciudad de Lima es divertida. Okay, that word ciudad means city. Do you remember that when we have a word in Spanish that ends with D-A-D, it's the same as T-Y in English? So ciudad is city, but it's a little tricky to decide, is that a boy word or a girl word? Because it ends with the letter D. It doesn't end with an O or an A, so it's a little bit trickier to tell. So the way that we can tell if it's a boy word or a girl word is we go back and we look at the word the that's in front of it. And we see the word la. La tells me that it's a girl word, not a boy word. So that means that our adjective that's describing that city also has to be a girl adjective. So we have the word divertida, which means fun. So it says the city of Lima is fun. But the word divertida is describing the girl word ciudad. Ciudad divertida. Adiós, Miguel. Muy bien. So there's a lot to think about when we're speaking in Spanish. We have to remember to make our adjectives match with our nouns. So girl words match with girl words, plural words match with plural words. And we need to make sure that we're matching our verbs to our subjects. That's called conjugating, when we change the endings of our verbs to make it fit with who's doing the action. So lots to think about. We'll keep practicing those things. All right, let's see if we can say these words. Repiten, por favor. Ciudad. Playa. Baja. Alto. So ciudad, city. Playa, beach. Baja, short, because she's a girl. If she were a boy, we could say bajo. Alto means tall, but only because he's a boy. If it was a tall girl, it would be alta. Okay? Let's see if we can completar las frases, complete these sentences here. La something in Hawaii es hermosa. What in Hawaii is beautiful? La playa in Hawaii es hermosa. See how the words playa and hermosa match? The beach is beautiful. Playa hermosa. How about número dos? Lima es una divertida. Lima is a fun ciudad. Lima es una ciudad divertida. Girl word. So we have to make it divertida. Fun city. How about número tres? Kai es alto, because he's a boy. So we're going to end it with an O. Kai es alto. He is tall. La hermana de Miguel es baja. Miguel's sister is short. Since she's a girl, we're going to end it with an A. Muy bien. Entonces, la ciudad es divertida. El hermano de Alana es alto. Y yo soy. So if you want to say that you are tall and you're a boy, you would say yo soy alto. But if you're a girl and you're tall, you would say yo soy alta. If you're a boy and you're short, you would say yo soy bajo. But if you're a girl and you're short, you would say yo soy baja. Okay, so we always want our adjectives to match what they're describing. Perfecto. Let's talk about mi familia y mis amigos. So check out these words in yellow. This is the verb to be. So in English, the verb to be is kind of a complicated thing. When we change the verb to match the subject, it doesn't follow a nice pattern, right? We don't say I be tall, you be tall, he be tall, we be tall. It doesn't follow a pattern like that. Instead, we say I am tall, you are tall, he or she is tall. There's not really a pattern happening, right? Am, are, is. We are tall, they are tall. So it's kind of all over the place. It's the same in Spanish. The verb to be is kind of all over the place in Spanish too. It doesn't follow a nice pattern like our other verbs do. Some of the other verbs we've seen so far, we saw that pattern of o, as, a, amos, an. Remember those endings in that song? Otra vez, o, as, a, amos, an. Those verbs followed a nice pattern, and so we could always remember that if we were talking about I, we were ending our verbs with O. And if we were talking about we were ending our verbs with MOS, things like that. But this verb, to be, is called an irregular verb. That means it doesn't follow the nice normal rules like the other verbs do. It's a little bit all over the place. So here's what it looks like in Spanish. Yo soy Alfredo means I am Alfredo. We've seen that before. We learned that that's a way we can introduce ourselves, right? You can say yo soy. Tú eres mi tía. You are my aunt. Ramón es mi papá. Ramón is my dad. So we've got soy, eres, es. I am, you are, he is. El doctor Benítez es mi tío. Dr. Benítez is my uncle. Sandra, Reinaldo y yo somos primos. Sandra, Reinaldo, and I, we are cousins. Sandra y Reinaldo son hermanos. Sandra and Reinaldo are siblings. So that's our verb. Soy, eres, es, somos, son. Doesn't quite follow a nice pattern like our other verbs do. Almost, but not quite. It's a little bit all over the place. So we're going to watch a video right now that helps us to remember this verb. We're going to sing a song about the verb called ser, which means to be. And we'll see if we can get these verbs stuck in our head. Okay? Perfecto.
Ser means to be, and this verb is a mess. Yeah, it's irregular in Espanol and English. I am, you are, he is, she is, we are, they are. Ser means to be, and this verb is a mess. Yeah, it's irregular in Espanol and English. I am, you are, he is, she is, we are, they are. Yo soy, tú eres, él, ella es, nosotros somos, ellos son. Yo soy, tú eres, él, ella es, nosotros somos, ellos son. Yo soy, tú eres, él, ella es, nosotros somos, ellos son. Yo soy, tú eres, él, ella es, nosotros somos, ellos son.
All right, so now that you've got that song stuck in your head, let's see if we can choose which verb fits with which subject. Remember, only one verb can go for each subject. We can't say things like I is tall. That doesn't work. We can't say we am tall. There's only one thing that matches. So we've got yo soy or yo somos, Maria. Which one fits with yo from our song? Yo soy. There it is. Yo soy Maria. I am Maria. It's the only one that matches. How about number 2? Manuel. Manuel is the same as saying he or she, él or ella. Manuel eres or Manuel es mi papá? We want to say Manuel is my dad. Which one would we use for is? Manuel es mi papá. How about number 3? Tú. What goes with tú? Yo soy. Tú eres. You are mi hermana, my sister. Tú eres mi hermana. You are my sister. Patricia y José, that's the same as saying ellos or ellas. It's like saying they. How would we say they are? Ellos es or ellos son? Ellos son. Patricia y José son mis abuelos. Patricia and José are my grandparents. How about Lisa y yo? Lisa and I. That's the same as saying nosotros, we. What goes with nosotros? Yo soy, tú eres, él, ella es, nosotros somos. Lisa y yo somos hermanos. Lisa and I are brother and sister. How about número 6? Pedro. We want to say Pedro is my uncle. Pedro es mi tío. So that is a super important verb in Spanish, one that we're going to practice lots and lots. Imagine trying to speak English without ever saying the word is. It is impossible to do. You say the word is all the time. And so it's the same in Spanish. We use that verb a lot. So we'll practice it over and over and over and over until it gets stuck in our head. Okay, so that's the verb ser, to be. All right, now let's put it all together here. And we'll look at our verb ser, to be, and we'll look at our adjectives and how they're agreeing with our nouns, how they match. They have the same endings, right? So we've got la plaza es bonita. The plaza is pretty. So there's our verb ser for es, is. The plaza is. And we want to make the word bonita, pretty, match with the word plaza. So the word plaza is a girl word. It ends with an A. So we make our adjective a girl adjective, bonita. We also make it end with an A. Let's look at the next one. Los dulces son deliciosos. So this time we have a plural sentence. It's more than one thing. So we're adding lots of S's, which means we also have to change our verb. We can't say los dulces means the candies. We can't say the candies is delicious. That doesn't work. We want to say the candies are delicious. So we switched from es to son. And we need to make our adjective plural because our noun is plural. We have more than one candy, so we have to put an S at the end of delicioso. So we get los dulces son deliciosos. See how everything kind of has to match each other? If one word is plural, then all the words have to be plural. If one word is a girl word, then the adjective has to be a girl word to match. Okay, we want to make everything match. How about el mercado es pequeño? Is the word mercado a boy word or a girl word? It's a boy word. It ends with an O. Is it singular or plural? It's just singular. I don't see an S at the end of that word. So we've got a boy word that's singular. So our verb is also singular. We want to say is. And our adjective is going to be a singular boy adjective. So it's going to end with the letter O. El mercado es pequeño. If we're doing this right, most of the time our words should rhyme with each other. Mercado pequeño. Plaza bonita. Okay, if we're matching our words correctly, they should rhyme. It's easy to write a poem in Spanish. So that sentence says, the market is small. El mercado es pequeño. How about the last one? Las casas. Do we have girl word or boy word? It's a girl word. There's an A going on. Is it singular or plural? It's plural because it ends with an S. So las casas, we don't want to say our verb singular. We need a plural verb. So not las casas es, but las casas son. The houses are hermosas. We have a feminine word, a girl word, ends with an A, but it's also plural, so we end with an S. So we have two words that rhyme, casas, hermosas. See how it works? It means the houses are beautiful. Muy bien. Now, look at this next one. It says la vendedora. Girl word or boy word? Definitely a girl word, but look at our adjective. Es amable. Now, some of our adjective words don't end with O or A. They might end with a letter like E. So if that happens, that means they can work for either a boy word or a girl word. We don't have to change them. The only problem is they don't rhyme anymore. So it might not sound as good as when we make our words rhyme. Then we know for sure they're agreeing with each other. But sometimes these words that end with E are a little easier because we don't have to change them. It works for a boy word or a girl word, doesn't matter. La vendedora es amable means the saleswoman is nice. How about Miguel y sus hermanos? Miguel and his brothers son, they are, it's something plural, more than one person. Miguel and his brothers are simpáticos, with an S on the end because there's more than one. It means Miguel and his brothers are nice. Okay? La hermana de Miguel es cómica. It's a girl. La hermana, Miguel's sister, is funny. So she's cómica. But if it was his brother, he would be cómico, right? We can change it to match for boys or girls. How about el hermano de Miguel es serio? Miguel's brother is serious with an O because he's a boy. Okay? So, lots to think about. We're matching our adjectives, we're making them singular, plural, boy words, girl words, we're making sure our verbs fit with our subjects. There's a lot that we have to piece together. It's a lot to think about. But eventually your ear will get used to it. And it'll just kind of sound wrong when you do it wrong. It'll take a little while to get there before your ear will tell you what's right or wrong. But just in the same way that it sounds weird to your ear to say something like, I is tall, eventually your ear will tell you, wait a second, that's not right. And it'll help you to get all the pieces of the sentence to match with each other. And then your ear will be happy. It will sound correct. Bueno, well, let's keep going. We've got, ¿cómo es tu comunidad? Means what's your community like? So we've described some people. Now let's describe a place. Let's describe your community. It says, hola Alicia, la familia de Juan es or son grande? So we have to ask ourselves, is it something singular or something plural? La familia de Juan. Juan's family. Do we want to say Juan's family is big or Juan's family are big? Family is just one thing. It doesn't end with the letter S. So we're going to say la familia de Juan es grande. Juan's family is big. Juan tiene 3 hermanos. Juan has 3 brothers and sisters. Ellos, okay, now this time it does end with an S. So do we want the singular verb or the plural verb? We need the plural verb. We want to say they are. Ellos son cómicos. They are funny. La comunidad donde viven es hermosa or hermosas. So we have to think about what are we describing here? We're describing the community, la comunidad. Does that word have an S on the end? It doesn't, so we don't want our adjective to have an S on the end either. We want it to be la comunidad donde viven es hermosa. The community where they live is beautiful. La comunidad es hermosa. Sus padres. Do we see S's on the end? We do, so we know that it's plural. So do we want to say sus padres es or sus padres son? Sus padres son. His parents are serios. Serious. His parents are serious. Hasta luego, Anita. Okay? So that's what it looks like when we put it all together. And we've got our adjectives matching our nouns, and we've got our verbs matching our subjects. Everything fits together and it sounds right to our ears. We don't have sentences like, his parents is serious. Okay, we want to make sure everything matches and sounds good. All right, how about en tu familia? Mi familia es pequeña. I have a small family, so I would say mi familia es pequeña. Pero, ¿cómo es tu familia? What's your family like? Maybe tu familia es grande. Maybe you have a big family. How about tu comunidad? Mi comunidad es grande. Vivo en Providence. I live in Providence, so mi comunidad es grande. I live in a big community. But maybe you live somewhere smaller and you could say mi comunidad es pequeña. Muy bien. Whew, that's a lot of work. And we are wrapping up talking about Peru. So let's have a look in our workbooks. Abre el libro a la página 17, page 17. Página 17. We have some clues up here in our word bank. We've got the words cómico, ciudad, playa, baja, alto, and serio. Let's see if we can figure out which words go into our crucigrama, our crossword puzzle. So, número uno, Kai es, they did this one for us already. Kai es cómico. Kai is funny. And it ends with an O because Kai is a boy. Kai es cómico. Okay, how about número dos? Vivo al lado de, do you remember what that means? Al lado de, next to la, what's that a picture of? La playa. Vivo al lado de la playa. I live next to the beach. Let's put playa into our crucigrama. Número dos, going down. We've got P, L, A, Y, A. Vivo al lado de la playa. Muy bien. Número tres, Kai es alto. Kai is tall. And he's a boy, so we're going to end it with the letter O. And we're writing it número tres going down. We've got A, L, T, O. Kai es alto. Bueno, número cuatro. Vivo en la, remember what that place is called? Vivo en la ciudad. Ciudad. Remember D-A-D at the end of a word makes T-Y in English. City. Vivo en la ciudad. Let's write it número cuatro going across. We've got C, already have an E. U, D, A, already there. D. Ciudad. Ciudad. Muy bien. Número 5. El señor es serio. This guy is serious. Serio. Let's write it. Número 5 going across. We've got S, E, R, I. Already have an O. Serio. El señor es serio. And last but not least, we have the little sister, Andrea es baja. She's short, baja, and she's a girl, so we're ending it with the letter A. So our last spaces here, we got B, already have an A, J, already have an A. Muy bien. Bueno, doble la página, página 18, page 18, página 18. Let's see if we can choose the right verb that fits with our subject. Mi mamá, doctora. Mi mamá son or mi mamá es doctora? Mi mamá es doctora. My mom is a doctor, not my mom are a doctor. Which one goes with yo? Let's think of our song. Yo soy. Yo soy. Tú eres. Yo soy una niña. I'm a girl. How about Ernesto y Elvira? Sounds plural. They are. Do we want ellos somos or ellos son? Tricky one. Ellos son mis padres. Ernesto y Elvira are my parents. Which one goes with nosotros? Yo soy, tú eres, él, ella es, nosotros somos. Nosotros somos amigos. We are friends. Nosotros somos amigos. And last but not least, what goes with tú? Yo soy, tú eres. Tú eres mi hermana. You are my sister. Okay? So there's only one verb that matches each subject. We can never say tú soy. We can't say nosotros eres. Okay? There's only one subject that matches with each verb. So down here at the bottom, we're going to try to match up those subjects and verbs again. The only problem is sometimes we have more than one that can fit, but then we're going to look at the adjective words. So look at number 1. We have the subject tú. The only verb that can go with tú is eres. So we matched it up and made it tú eres muy alto. You are very tall. Okay, now, el papá de Sandra. Sandra's dad. What verb would go with that? Has to be es, is. But we have a couple of choices over here with the word is. We have es bonita, es simpático, es delicioso. Are there any that we can get rid of right away? We don't want to say bonita. Even though the word papa ends with the letter A, is it a boy word or a girl word? Definitely it's a boy word because we're talking about her dad. Okay, so we don't want to say that her dad is bonita because that's a girl word. So that one can't fit. So we've got simpático or delicioso. They both would end with an O, so they both could work for boy words, but simpático means nice, and delicioso means what? Delicious. I don't think that Sandra's dad is delicious, so probably the best fit is el papá de Sandra es simpático. Sandra's dad is nice. Phew. All right, how about number 3? La ciudad, the city. So again, we want to have what verb? La ciudad es, the city is. Is this word a boy word or a girl word? Girl word because we have the word la in front. So we could say la ciudad es bonita or la ciudad es delicioso. Which one works? La ciudad es bonita. The city is pretty. We have to have the word that ends with an A, bonita. And delicioso doesn't make any sense anyway because the city's not delicious. But even if it were delicious, it wouldn't fit because it doesn't end with an A. Okay? How about número 4? Roberto y Carlos. Robert and Carlos sounds plural, so we're looking for a plural verb. We want to say they are. So it will be ellos son. So we have two choices. We've got ellos son pequeñas or ellas son amables. Which one works? Roberto and Carlos are two boy names. So can we say that they are pequeñas? Can't, because it has an A, and we don't want to use A's to describe boys. So we've got Roberto y Carlos son amables. Roberto and Carlos are friendly. Bueno. Miguel y yo. Miguel y yo is the same as saying nosotros. Miguel and I, same as saying we, right? So, nosotros, what goes with that? Yo soy, tú eres, él, ella es, nosotros somos, we only have one. Miguel y yo somos amigos. Miguel and I are friends. How about el ceviche? Do you remember what ceviche is? Did you watch the video about it with the kids preparing it and eating ceviche? Ceviche is like a kind of a fish that they cook in lemon juice. So, el ceviche es delicioso. That's the one that can be delicious. Not the city and not Sandra's dad, but el ceviche es delicioso. And last but not least, we've got las casas, girl word, plural word. So we want to match it to a girl word, plural word adjective. So we've got las casas all the way up at the top. Son pequeñas. The houses are small. Phew, we did it. All right, that brings us to the end of our chapter on Peru. So that means we get our test. Have a look on página 19, page 19. Bueno, what finishes this conversation? It says, Alana, te presento a mis padres. Alana, I introduce you to my parents. What fits? Adiós, muy bien, gracias. Mucho gusto or hasta luego. If you meet somebody for the first time, what would you say to them? You would say, mucho gusto, nice to meet you. What are these two girls saying? Ella es mi mamá. Adiós. Yo soy Alana. Or ¿cómo estás? They're saying adiós. Okay, where is this girl? La niña está al lado de la carpa, dentro de la carpa, enfrente del árbol, or en la casa. It's a hard one. She is dentro de la carpa. She's inside the tent. Dentro de la carpa. Who's this guy? Easy one. Abuelo. Muy bien. Make sure it ends with an O and not an A, because that's a guy. Okay. Bueno, one more page. Página 20, page 20. ¿Cómo te llamas? What's the answer to that question? ¿Cómo te llamas? Bien, gracias. Él es mi hermano. Yo como ceviche. Or me llamo Alana. Me llamo Alana is the answer to that. ¿Cómo te llamas? What's your name? My name is Alana. Okay, who's this guy? Hola. González. He's a doctor. Not the first one, because that would be a girl doctor, doctora. He's a guy, so we want to choose the last abbreviation, doctor. Número 7. Esteban, David, y yo. Stephen, David, and I are cousins. Same as saying we are. What goes with nosotros? Nosotros somos primos. We are cousins. Mi hermano es, what fits? Y yo soy bajo. My brother is, and I am short. What works? Mi hermano es deliciosa. Definitely doesn't work because it ends with an A, and we're talking about an hermano, and my brother is not delicious, so that one's out. Mi hermano es familia? Kind of. My brother is family? It's not the best answer. How about mi hermano es hermana? That doesn't make any sense. My brother is sister. So we gotta go with B. Mi hermano es alto. My brother is tall y yo soy bajo, and I am short. Muy bien, lots of hard work. So there's lots of videos you can watch about Peru if you haven't watched them yet. You can watch some videos about adjectives and adjective agreement. There's one with Miguel and Sabo. Miguel is the real guy and Sabo is a little cartoon. And they'll explain to you adjective agreement too. That's another great way to review. You can play some games with adjective agreement. Keep practicing that verb ser. You can listen to that song a couple more times so you can practice ser. Lots of things to practice. We'll keep working on it, and we'll see you next time. Hasta luego. Ciao.